Hey there guys, what's up? What's going on? How you guys doing? It is Movie Review Mike 18 here, back with another video. This is a special video that I definitely felt the need to do. If you guys watched my return to YouTube video, that like 20-minute video I posted a couple weeks ago detailing my return, you'll know that I announced that I was going to be doing a Q&A mostly for my subscribers, just to answer any burning questions that any of you guys had. And to my delight, I got a bunch of comments on that video from a lot of my very dedicated and loyal subscribers, and I am going to set this entire video dedicated to answering all of your comments. And this video is probably going to be a little bit long, guys. Of course, I don't want it to be long. I don't like long videos. Part of my soul dies every time I release a long video. But I think this is important to sort of catch you guys up on any of your questions. A lot of you guys asked me movie questions. What movies have I seen? What are my thoughts on certain movies? And because I haven't been on YouTube for over a year in the wake of my absence, I feel it would make sense for me to make a long video sort of explaining and going over a lot of things that I missed covering. Alright guys, so let's get to the actual reading of the questions and your comments. I have my phone here with me. I am literally just on the page of the video. I'm just gonna scroll down. Some of you guys actually didn't ask me questions. Some of you guys just left really sweet comments just saying you were really happy to see me back. And I really appreciate that, but so I'm still going to screen cap all those comments and give you guys a shout out because I have to, you know, that's the sweetest thing ever. I love you guys. First one up, and I apologize if I butcher any channel names. Please forgive me. Lux Keo said, "Oh shit, what up? What up, dude? How you doing?" That was all he wrote. Yeah. Hey, I'm back. Yeah. Next up, we have Jeremy Cadle. Jeremy Cadle said, "Glad to see you back." Thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate that. It feels really good to be back, and I'm really happy to be back uploading videos already. Master of Reality said, "It's good to see you back, Mike." Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. It warms my heart when I get comments just, you know, saying we missed you, and yeah, I love that. Then we had David Medina. David Medina 2000 said, "It's good to have you back, man. We miss you so much." Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You know, it's these comments that just warm the heart, you know. Jonathan Balmer wrote, "You are alive," with a lot of exclamation points. Yes, Jonathan, I am alive. I did survive. Some secret government organization sent a couple of assassins to execute me, but I survived. I outsmarted all of them. I'm just kidding. That was a really bad joke. IDGF 999 said, "We still have no proof that you didn't die." I don't know what other proof you need that I'm alive, but yeah, okay. He's got a point. Yeah, I'm not dead. Or maybe I am. Thank you very much for that, dude. He's another one of my loyal subscribers. I remember a lot of your comments and participation in my videos. Thank you very much. Blu-ray Addict said, "So happy you're back, man. Looking forward to more of your videos." Thank you a lot, dude. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the last couple of reviews that I put out. Thank you for watching, and thank all you guys who just wrote those comments just to, you know, just say you're glad that I'm back. I really appreciate that. Alright, so Blu-ray Dude asked, "What editing software did you get?" That is a great question. I actually am currently editing on Adobe Premiere Pro. I recently purchased the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. I know, it's a lot of money, but I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, okay? Gather around. Shh. Although I did just graduate, I used the student discount. So I'm set for I think 2 years or something with the Creative Cloud Suite because it's really freaking expensive, you know? It's like $500 if you're not a student, you know, for the whole suite. And you can't just purchase just one program. I really just needed Premiere, maybe needed After Effects, and maybe wanted maybe Photoshop because I'm now editing my thumbnails with Photoshop. So I purchased the whole Creative Cloud Suite, and it was a lot of money, but it was very worth it. So I'm editing on Adobe Premiere. I've always been editing on Adobe Premiere. Primarily, I've edited all my films when I was in college on Adobe Premiere. I have used Avid occasionally, but not for any like long, lengthy projects that I've done because I'm not a huge Avid person. From the Movie Geek, he said, "Hey man, glad you were doing great. I am currently in college, study film production, and hopefully in the future I'll become a director, make my first film ever, and the past month and weeks I have been stressed and I am still managing." I know how that feels, man. Oh, wow, I know how that feels. And then he asked, the question is, since 2018 is closing, what is your favorite 2018 film thus far and why? Stay strong, man. I want to congratulate you for working in film, and I wish you the best of luck in college. I know how difficult it was. I just lived it. You know, you're doing it for the craft, and you're doing it because you love doing it, and it's amazing that you're going through the program. But whenever you direct your first film, I would love to see it. You know, send it to me. I love, you know, any of you guys make a film or anything like that, just send it to me. I'd love to watch them. So to answer his question, what is my favorite 2018 film? I'm going to hold off on answering that, and I'll explain why. So guys, as you know, I always did top 10 lists at the end of the year. I loved doing that. That was my favorite thing to do, with my top 10 favorite movies of the year. I'm planning on doing that this year as well. Because I'm planning on doing that, I really would like to avoid saying what my favorite film of the year is so far, because I want to keep it sort of a surprise for the top 10 list. So WAW1015 asked, excited to see you return to the realm of movie reviewing. My question for you would be, what are your best and worst films of the year so far? Here we go. So some of my favorite movies of the year so far are Hereditary, excellent, excellent horror movie that really left me unsettled the entire way through. Eighth Grade is such an amazing coming-of-age film that I really, really enjoyed. I also really liked First Reformed with Ethan Hawke. Amazing performance from him. Really twisted and dark film that really went to some deep places I wasn't expecting it to go. I really, really enjoyed the film Searching with John Cho. Excellent thriller. I just loved it. It really had so many gripping twists and just an excellent, excellent movie. Avengers Infinity War was amazing. Black Panther, I really, really loved. Mission Impossible Fallout, excellent Mission Impossible movie. All of those films are going to be on my top 10. You Were Never Really Here by Lynn Ramsey, easily one of the best movies of this year. Won't You Be My Neighbor, the doc on Mr. Rogers, was really, really touching and really heartfelt and very good. As far as worst movies go, I am actually going to hold off on saying what some of those are. I haven't actually seen a lot of bad movies this year because I always have fun making a sort of rant worst movies of the year video at the end of the year. I love doing that. And I did get one more question asking what some of my favorite movies of the year are. From Anna M, she asked, I have a question. What movies do you think are the best so far this year? Question mark. Also, Your Girlfriend Rocks. Is she still there? Winky face. No, she's not there anymore. We broke up years ago. I'm kidding, guys. That actually is my girlfriend who left that comment. Thank you, Anna, for leaving me that wonderful comment. But like everybody else had asked, like WAW1015 asked, and a few of you guys also asked, I'm not going to say what my favorite film of the year is, or I'm not going to give you like a ranking yet, but as I said beforehand, those are my favorite movies of this year. So Jonas Lindberg asked, hi Mike, glad to see you're back. Thanks, dude. I was wondering if you have seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy yet. If you have, what did you think of them? If you haven't seen them, I highly recommend you seeing them at some point. Many years ago, I actually did watch the Lord of the Rings movies. From what I do remember, I watched most of them. I know for a fact I've watched Return of the King. I've watched it at least twice from what I can remember. That said, I don't remember Fellowship of the Ring at all, I just remember the beginning, so I think I probably only watched that once. And then Two Towers, I remember one scene from, and that's really it. So I was like 7, 8, 9 years old when those movies were out and big, and when I was probably watching them. So I honestly, guys, because they were so long and they were so involved, there's so much mythology that goes into the Lord of the Rings universe, I probably didn't accurately grasp everything as a young child, so I honestly don't remember them. So to answer your question, I really haven't seen them recently in their entirety. I do own the trilogy Blu-ray. It's been 5 years since I've had that Blu-ray. I have yet to sit down and watch all 3 of them. I think the reason being is because they're just so long and I have to invest so much time into them. That's why I just haven't sat down and watched them. But I will watch them, okay? I will. And especially since you're highly recommending them to me, I need to watch them again. So Admiral Radis, I hope I'm saying that right, said, glad to see you back. Thanks so much, man. And then he also asked, thoughts on Infinity War and The Last Knight. I did not like The Last Knight. I thought it was a major misfire. It was the first Transformers film from Michael Bay that really, really, really let me down. It's by far one of the worst Transformers movies, in my opinion. And I really thought they missed some opportunities. I didn't get enough of the Transformers at all in that. It was the first movie where I felt I was not getting enough of the Transformers. I wanted so much more with the Bumblebee and Barricade fight. That went to nothing. So I got this question a lot. A lot of you guys wanted to know my thoughts on Infinity War, of course. Well, yes, Infinity War was my most highly anticipated film of the year until I watched the Halloween trailer, of course. I loved seeing all of those characters finally come back together. It was such an amazing treat. I had a freaking blast watching it. The action, the visuals, amazing. The writing, the ending. The ending really blew me away, guys. Get it? Blew me away, like half of the characters in the... Too soon? Too soon. I'm sorry. Fadi Barakat also asked a very similar question. He said, glad that you are back. What are your thoughts on, here we go, Thor Ragnarok, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Avengers Infinity War, Black Panther, Deadpool 2, Solo A Star Wars Story, Incredibles 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Mission Impossible Fallout, and Venom? Here we go. Thor Ragnarok. I loved it. It is my favorite film of the Thor series. I love the different direction they took it in. I loved what they did differently with the character. Star Wars The Last Jedi. I have a really funny and unfortunate story to tell about this one. This movie came out just 3 days before I started shooting my senior film. So I was incredibly low on sleep. I was impatient and I wanted to see it. So guess what happened? I went and saw the film on Thursday night with a big audience, and I really enjoyed the first half of it. Started falling asleep during the second half. That's right. It's not because the movie was bad. It's not because I didn't like it. I just was exhausted. It was not a good time for me to go to the movies. I didn't pound a monster that night either, which was a very, very bad idea. I should have had a monster. I've seen a good majority of it. I'll say I've seen about 70% of the movie. The other 30%, I've fallen asleep during scenes. And I was like in and out, like bobbing my head up and down, falling asleep. I have the Blu-ray. I have not watched it since I bought it. I am going to watch it again, and probably definitely before the new one comes out. Already gave my thoughts on Infinity War. I loved it. One of my favorites of the year. Black Panther, I believe I said earlier, I was really looking forward to Black Panther because of Ryan Coogler's involvement. I loved the world. Seeing the world of T'Challa and Wakanda was amazing, and I loved Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. Excellent fight sequences, excellent killer soundtrack. One of my favorites of the year for sure. Deadpool 2 was also really, really good. Definitely one of my favorite movies of the summer. I don't know if I like it more than the first. I think I like the first one just a little bit more. I think the first half wasn't as funny as the second half for me. The second half really just picked up and was all sorts of hilarious. Solo A Star Wars Story. Really wasn't that crazy about Solo. I know. One of the big things that bothered me about that movie was the color grading, and like the color palette was just so dreary and dull and gray. It really took me out of the movie. I also feel the movie wasn't wholly necessary. I didn't really gain anything from it at all. I liked the cast. I loved Donald Glover as Lando, and I thought Alden I can't think of his last name right now, or I don't want to butcher his last name. I thought he was great as Solo, but yeah, it was just okay. Incredibles 2, really enjoyed Incredibles 2. Probably not as good as the first one for me, but excellent Pixar sequel. I do think it got a little too big and a little too like crazy in like the last act. That it was just like it went like too far, I think. Whereas the first one, I think, was a little bit more reserved. Holy the sun is out and I am really overexposed right now, aren't I? So yeah, Incredibles 2, good. Not as good as the first one, but good sequel. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I enjoyed. It was funny. It had its great moments. I laughed a couple of times. Not one of my favorites of the year or anything. I think I liked the first one probably a little bit more, but it was still solid enough. Mission Impossible Fallout was amazing. I loved Fallout. It might be my favorite Mission Impossible movie. I know, I love Ghost Protocol, but Fallout just blew me away, guys. I mean, the action, the stunt work, the set pieces, and Venom, my review just came out on the channel, but I was not a crazy diehard fan of Venom. So George S. asked, how many movies have you seen since the break, and what was your favorite? So every time I watch a movie, guys, I log it on Letterboxd in my diary, which keeps a track record of every movie I've seen. So what I did was I went through the 2017 diary. In 2017, I had 108 entries. That's right. According to that, I watched 108 movies. Now that does not count rewatches, because some movies I will have rewatched and I've already seen before. So that's not new films that I've seen. That's just every movie I've watched that year. But yeah, I watched a lot of movies, so it's kind of hard to answer what my favorite one was. But some of my favorites of 2017 were A Ghost Story and Logan. I think A Ghost Story is probably my favorite film of 2017, but Logan, like, sometimes I flip-flop the two of them. Both really excellent films, two really completely different movies, but yeah. A few of my other favorite movies of last year, Blade Runner 2049, I loved so much. Denis, man. In Denis we trust. Oh, Florida Project was in my like top 3. I really enjoyed that movie. Baby Driver was also up there for me. Get Out was really good. War for the Planet of the Apes was amazing. I really enjoyed all those movies, guys. So next up, Sahil Kapoor said, glad to see you back. I would love to know what you think is going to happen in Avengers 4. Are you going to review some of the movies you saw over 2017 in the last year that you didn't upload? So no, guys, unfortunately, I'm not going to be reviewing all the 2017 movies that I did see. I would love to do that, but quite frankly, I just don't have the time to do that. I'd rather focus my attention on covering new releases. So what do I think is going to happen in Avengers 4? Well, mild spoilers ahead for anyone who hasn't seen Infinity War, but Avengers 4, I think they're just going to go all out freaking nuts with that film, guys. It's going to be Chris Evans' last movie as Cap. It might just be Tony Stark's or Robert Downey Jr.'s last movie as Iron Man. Of course, spoilers, Black Panther's not dead. Spider-Man is not dead. They have movies coming out. So I know for a fact they are still alive and they are going to come back somehow. I know Captain Marvel is going to play a big role in that. They also just casted Catherine Langford, who played Hannah on 13 Reasons Why. So I'm really excited to see where they're going to go with that character and what kind of role she's going to play. This is like the last Avengers movie with the OG team, and I'm really excited for it. I really am. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Thanos, you know? Are they going to kill... Is someone going to actually gain the upper hand over Thanos, or is he just going to leave, like Earth? Like what's going to happen? Is he going to be imprisoned, or are they going to destroy the Infinity Gauntlet? I think they will, but who knows? Alright, guys, so Random Man said... OMG, I am so happy you are back. Thanks a lot, dude. He said, cannot wait to see your new style of videos in full force coming soon. My question for you is the following. What did you think of last year's award season, and what did you take away the most from it? I always loved it when you talked about the Oscars and Golden Globes when those noms and ceremonies were around the corner. Once again, so glad to see you back. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Say that 8 times very fast. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that warm welcome back, and thank you for always sticking around and watching my videos. When the Oscar nominations were announced for the 2018 Oscars. I did watch the announcement video, and a part of me was kind of bummed, even though I knew I wasn't going to do a video on it. I was bummed that I didn't get to do a reaction video, because I know you guys love that. I did actually get to watch the Oscars and sort of, you know, enjoy the Oscar ceremony, and I did have fun with it. I didn't get to watch the Golden Globes, actually. I was actually on set the night of the Golden Globe. I had not seen every film that got nominated at the time of the nominees, and I still actually haven't seen everything. So, for example, Shape of Water basically was the big winner for everything. I have not yet seen The Shape of Water. I actually have the Blu-ray. I bought it because it won everything. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, I do think was quite good. I don't think it was one of the best films of the year or anything, but I do think the performances were very deserving of the awards they got. I loved Lady Bird, of course. Call Me By Your Name was really, really good. Get Out, I really enjoyed. I was really shocked Get Out got so much love that it did, being a horror movie. I also saw The Post was really good. Phantom Thread by Paul Thomas Anderson I did get to see, was really good. I didn't see Darkest Hour because I'm not a huge fan of biopics in that vein. The only thing that really bummed me out with the Oscar nominations, I wish certain films got more love than they did. Like, for example, I really wish that Florida Project got more love than just William Dafoe for supporting actor. I thought that should have been a Best Picture nomination for sure. I'm really happy Roger Deakins won Best Cinematography finally, but I really wanted that film to get more love than it did. And then even The Disaster Artist, I really, really enjoyed. I understand why James Franco didn't get nominated for his performance. It's not that hard to realize why he didn't get nominated because of all the allegations that had come out at the time. So I understand that, but I really do wish that that film went a little further than it did. Ryan Kolvik. He said, "Good to see you back, brother. Had to do a double take when I saw your face in the subscription section. Loving the edits and the Blade Runner 2049 poster." Oh yeah. I think having a picture of the poster edited onto the review would be easier on your hand rather than holding up the poster. Also less ink. 4 questions for you. Then he went and asked me like 6 questions. Question number 1. What did you think of The Room now that you've seen it? The Room. Tommy Wiseau's The Room. I refuse to answer that question. It's awful. In a really good way. No, I've actually seen that movie twice. Yes, I've watched it twice. My girlfriend actually gets a kick out of that movie for some reason. And she also asked, in reply to that comment, I too am curious about Mike's thoughts on The Room. So everybody wants to know my thoughts on The Room. It's a terrible movie. It's awful. It's one of the worst movies of all time. But yes, it's so bad it's fun to watch, of course. I watched it, I think, twice with my girlfriend, and then I was on set, actually, one night. We had, it was like a big snowstorm, so we couldn't shoot the next day. Or we couldn't shoot that day. So that night we were just chilling. I forget who suggested watching The Room, but I think because The Disaster Artist had just come out, we were like, let's watch The Room, why not? So we actually watched The Room all together then as well. And that was fun because a lot of them hadn't seen it, a lot of the friends I was with. Question number 2, what do you think of the fact that my mom won a 4K DVD of Deadpool 2 at a beanbag toss competition even though I don't own a 4K TV? Oh God. That sucks, man. She also won Strangers 2. Told her to put that shit in a garbage can. I agree. Question 2A. 2A. Do you think Brianna Hildebrand will go out with me if I tell her this? I don't know who that is, but maybe? Question 3. Since you have Netflix, have you seen any of the Marvel shows, i.e. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, etc.? Good question. I actually saved all of them on my, list. You know that list where you can bookmark and save shows you want to watch? I have not watched any of them yet. I know. I will watch them soon. You know, I have watched other shows on Netflix. I've been watching Stranger Things. I'm almost done with season 2, actually. I'm halfway through. 13 Reasons Why I have watched. I didn't like season 2 as much as I loved season 1. And I'm halfway through Maniac as well, the new Cary Fukunaga show. Number 4, why is Hero by Nickelback the greatest song of all time? It's not. Number 5, why is Aidan Gillen the greatest actor of our generation? I don't know. He's not. Was he in The Lovers? I think he was in The Lovers. He was a douche in that movie. And the Transformers Bumblebee movies look cool. It's directed by the guy who did Kubo and the Two Strings, which had amazing visuals and action. And Haley Steinfeld is my backup plan in case things don't go well with Brianna. Kevin Lancer, who thought I was dead a lot. Kevin asked, he asked me a few questions. If Blumhouse asked you to direct a Halloween film, what direction would you take the franchise? That is a very good question. As you guys know, I enjoyed the new Halloween quite a bit. If they were to do another sequel, they need to take it in a direction that makes it still feel fresh. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen the new Halloween. I don't know if we should have Laurie Strode back in the movie. I really think this was a great movie to just send off Jamie Lee Curtis's character with, so I don't really want to focus on her. I really liked Andy Matichak as Laurie's granddaughter, and I wouldn't mind them focusing on her and more friends, maybe, and Michael Myers still alive. You know, I think that would be cool, actually. The send-off with Laurie was so great. They don't need to have more of her. If they want to, though, I wouldn't be upset. Of course, I would still see it. I just wouldn't want them to focus heavily on her as much, because I don't want it to feel like run down. I would focus on a new generation of teenagers and Michael Myers just doing his Michael Myers thing. So then Kevin asks, what is a third act that ruins an otherwise good movie? That is a really good question. I thought of two films, more so recent, that came to mind that kind of took down the movies for me a little bit. So first one, I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. I did. It was up there as one of my favorite comic book movies of last year, but I do think the third act is nowhere near as good as the first two acts of that movie. The third act just kind of just throws all this contrived, just generic, just CGI like fight scenes, and it really just didn't do anything for me. It just felt really bland and generic, and I just really wasn't that into it. So I definitely feel that was the weakest component of the film, and it didn't ruin the movie for me, but it was definitely a weak third act. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. The first two acts are meh to bad. You know, there's good things within them. There's good kills within them. They captured the sort of spirit of Halloween a little bit. But then right when the Cult of Thorn gets announced and they delve deeper into it, and as soon as she jumps out of that window, the second she jumps out of that window, and like from that point on, that's like the rest of the third act, everything else was right after that. I hated everything else. I just hated where that movie went. It just made no sense. You could tell that they had rushed it and they didn't know what they were doing. So there you go. Most recent Blu-ray purchase. This is a great question. I'm really glad somebody actually asked me about my most recent Blu-rays. So very recently, the most newest films I picked up were actually A24's 8th Grade. Easily one of my favorites of the year thus far. Excellent, excellent movie. Just picked up, haven't seen this. I wanted to see this in the theaters. I haven't even opened it yet. I just picked this up like 2 days ago. Sorry to Bother You with Lakeith Stanfield by Boots Riley. Really can't wait to watch this. I'll probably watch it after all the Halloween craziness sort of dies down. And then I also picked up Predator on Blu-ray because it was on sale. I actually have not seen the original Predator. But it was on sale because of all the horror movies that are on sale, but I do want to watch it. I did not see the new Predator because I haven't seen the others, so yeah. Alright, so then Kevin asks, what did you think of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? I actually haven't seen it. I know. It was one of the movies that came out this summer that I did miss. I will try to watch it soon because I did watch Jurassic World when that came out a few years ago, so I will watch Fallen Kingdom soon. What do you think of Rob Zombie as a filmmaker? Well, I did not like the remakes. If you watch my Halloween movie review, those are my least two favorite Halloween films. There are the bottom two. I hate them a lot. And those are the only two Rob Zombie films I've seen. So that said, not a huge fan of Rob Zombie. Not a huge fan of his style, but to each his own. Do you think that Halloween is God's gift to woman? Do you mean the new Halloween? The new one? Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, it has a very empowering female character who's been through heavy trauma, and it's a very interesting commentary, especially during today's day and age. So, I guess if you mean that, then yes. God's gift to woman? Yes. Because of the character of Laurie Strode? But at the same time, Michael Myers kills both men and women, so no. And there you have it, guys. I answered every question. Wow, this video is going to be long. I'm really sorry, guys. But thank you guys so much for asking all of those questions. I really, really appreciate it, guys. You guys made it really exciting to do this video because you asked me such great questions. I hope I answered all of them well enough. If you have any other questions you'd like me to ask, guys, comment down below in the comments and I will probably just directly type answers to your questions. And as always, you guys rock. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. I got a couple other videos coming soon and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.